What's going on, guys? I'm Built, and welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock tips and tricks video. In this video today, we're going to be going over a few very simple commands that you can use inside of your Minecraft survival world to add a bunch of much needed functions into the game. I'm inside of a creative copy of the Project Bedrock server, and I'm showing you kind of a behind the scenes area that not many people get to see. So with this, we have all the command blocks that are really adding to the quality of life to the server. And I've recently implemented a few more, and that's why I'm going over this video. That way, if you need any of these commands, you'll be able to use these inside of your world as well. Now, this area here is pretty much inaccessible to any of the players because it's hundreds of thousands of blocks away from anywhere that the players are able to get to, and they would literally have to walk for probably years and years in order to access this place, and that's if they're lucky enough to find the coordinates to it. So it really doesn't need to be hidden or anything like that. And we basically just have a one chunk area marked out, which is 16 by 16. Then we have this command block over here, which is our ticking area. This is going to be constantly keeping this area constantly ticking on the command block here. So this chunk will always be loaded regardless where you are at inside of the world at all times. What we have over here is the one that's just popping up is the border. We no longer have this one enabled. However, the reason why I had this down is because whenever we started the world, the 1.19 update was just on the horizon, and we wanted to kind of set aside a direction of land and a direction of travel that we could not go that way. Whenever the 1.19 dropped, we were able to load in the new 1.19 features really close to where we're at. You're probably really familiar with this command here, but this is the one player sleep command, and this involves you standing on the bed. The command block's going to detect the player standing on the bed, and then you could sleep, and as you can see, it's going to fast forward time, and as soon as you reach morning, it's going to pop you up out of bed, and then it's daytime, and you're good to go about your business again. As far as the one player sleep goes, this is going to be the command for this. Once again, all of these commands are going to be down inside of the description below, so you can copy and paste or have easy access to write these things down. And that's what you're going to paste inside of your command block. With this specific command block, you can set it up to where you can jump up and down on this and fast forward time if you would like, or you can set it up to wherever it locks out with daylight sensors to keep that from happening as well. You can also set this up to clear weather cycle. However, this specific one does not on the server because I have a totally different system, which is down here, just for dealing with the weather alone. I'm going to be going over this on a different video, and as soon as that video links, there's going to be a card linked to the top right now inside of the video. So if that card is popping up for you, that means that the video is out, and if you have any interest in learning how to completely control the weather inside of your world, then you are definitely going to want to watch it, because the Bedrock world settings for the weather does not work very well. It rains constantly, and it's just horrible if you want any kind of quality of life. So I basically turn off the weather cycle and use all of these here to completely control the weather, thunderstorms, and everything. So it works much better, and it's fully adjustable. And then we have the crafting table, which you probably saw inside of the Project Bedrock if you watched the series. And occasionally you'll be able to see one of us jump on top of a crafting table. Essentially what we are doing is we are setting the weather back to a clear state, and that's going to get rid of any of the thunderstorms or anything like that. Something else that you might have noticed is whenever I just jumped on here, it put me in survival mode, and that is one of the recent additions that I have made. See, we need to put ourselves back in survival mode and have a way of doing it if we are using one of the new additions that Mojang recently added, and up until now there's really no way for you to toggle it in and out without running commands. So instead of using the players to run the commands, we are using items to run the commands. Now, you can really set these up for anything that you want. You can even set it up to detect a certain item inside of your hand if you would like. However, due to the inventory issues, I don't really recommend it, because I would rather just use something that's close by most of the time, like a crafting table. There's no shortage of them, and everybody seems to always have one. And then there was another thing, which is this over here. This is going to be the other end of the command, and as you can see, we can kind of walk around this thing and touch it, and it's not going to do anything. It functions just as a regular brewing stand. However, this thing is really cheap to make for the most part. I mean, it's a little harder for the early game, but once you get going, it's really easy to make these and craft these. And the reason why I chose this block here, bear in mind you can change what block that you want this to work with, is because of the ability to build with this thing. Typically people don't use these for decorating much, and if you do use these for decorating, you're not going to really stand on them. See, the command is set to detect the player above the block, so just like it's going to detect this above the bed here, And whenever we have this set here, we have the CT crafting table weather clear. And if I click on here, which I do need to be in creative in order to do that. So we'll put ourselves in creative, click on here, and then this is the command that we're going to be using. And this is just a modified version of the same command that we use for the one player sleep. We're just running a weather clear instead of fast forwarding the time right here. So this is basically detecting a at entity. Well, what entity are we detecting? We are detecting the player entity. We are going to detect him -1 blocks below the crafting table here, and whenever that happens, then it's going to run the command weather clear. So that's pretty simple and straightforward, but I got to thinking, and I'm like, well, what else can I really use that for? And that's when the spectator came into mind, and I'm basically using this to run the same thing. It's the same pretty much code-based command here, except we're changing, furthermore, a few different things. So basically, just like before, we are executing at entity. The entity is going to be the player, and we are going to be detecting that between the location of the player and -1 blocks below the player. We're going to be detecting a brewing stand, and that brewing stand needs to be detected 1 block below the player. And once that happens, we are going to switch the game mode into spectator for the at P, which is going to be the closest player at where the device is that we just executed. So I'm going to put myself in survival real quick so we could jump on top of a crafting table, and we are now in survival. If I had any levels and I did not die, then it would be popping up and showing you my levels as well. You can see I can no longer fly, I can jump up and down, and if I jump down there, I will surely die. So if we go over here to this brewing stand here, like I said, we can walk all around here and it's not going to enable anything. And once we jump on top of it, we're instantly going to go into spectator mode. We can go through blocks, we can go down underground. And right as we go down underneath the ground, you can see we are in spectator mode. We can look all over the place. We can use this, fly about, and we cannot open up our creative inventory. The other players cannot see us unless they are actively in spectator mode. And all we can see is a floating little head of ourselves. But none of the other players are going to be able to see that. And once we get back up here, then we can go right over here to this crafting table and hover over top of it. Takes a second or two just to go up and down on top of it, and then it's going to recognize you and it's going to pop you back into survival mode. As you can see, I cannot fly, I can jump up and down, and as soon as I jump all the way down here, I'm going to splatter just to prove that I'm back in survival mode, which is not good. Hey look, I got my face. Anyways, we'll put this down for a momento. There we go. And that is about it. This command block here is the one that does it. We have this one here that is responsible for putting us into survival mode. And this is going to be this command here. And then you are also going to want to enable your commands to run inside of a repeat command block. Make sure that your command block is purple like this. That way the command block is repeating the command constantly. You want this on unconditional. And then you want this on always active where it does not require any redstone to run. And then you want this on a 10 tick delay. That way you don't overly have too much lag inside of your world. I would recommend having all of these on a 10 tick delay. It's going to take a half a second for it to recognize you. However, it's really going to make a big difference on the lag output of all of these command blocks, especially if you have a lot more of them inside of your world. The other command here is going to be similar. However, it's going to be that you are detecting a brewing stand instead of a crafting table, and you're going to be putting yourself in spectator instead of the survival. Now, this world already has it set up. However, if you are doing this inside of a world for the very first time, you are going to have a bunch of chat feedback popping up. And what you need to do in order to keep that from happening is open up your text menu, and you're going to do /, and then you're going to do gamerule, send command feedback. Then you're going to do a space and then type false. That's going to turn off the send command feedback. And then you need to bring it up one more time. Erase all of this. And then you're going to type /gamerule command block output. And you are going to put this on false as well. And then that's going to keep all of that spam from popping up inside of your world. If you want to see a tutorial where I go over most of these commands inside of a control room for your Bedrock realm or server, or even your single player world, I build a complete control room for admins only, and I show you exactly how to do that. That is a 3-part series, and I will link all 3 parts down below for your convenience. A few more notes to mention: I am going to be putting in a few more videos on my end card. The one on the left hand side is going to be showing you a tutorial on how to get your achievements back inside of your Minecraft survival world. And if you want your achievements for your world and you do not want to lose them, then you are going to want to follow this. It does require a PC with the method that I do use. However, I'm sure there's other methods out there. That way you can upload your files and probably do it on mobile. However, the one that I am showing you how to do is only going to be for PC that I know of. The video to the right of the end card at the end of this video is going to be showing you how to do the border wall. If you have any interest in that, I'll show you how to set up a border wall inside of your Minecraft survival world. Once you have the command blocks placed and the whole world is loaded and running, you never have to worry about the commands again. As long as they are inside of a ticking area, they will always work as soon as you log on or anybody else logs onto the server or realm. However, in order to do that, you do need to have the game in creative mode first. That way you can get command blocks. And the way that you're going to get command blocks is running a simple command. It's going to be / and then you're going to give @self and then command_block. And then that's going to give you a command block. Then you can place this thing down, open it up. You can change this from a impulse to a chain, which will turn it green, or you can change it to the repeat command block, which you need to do for this specific command. And then you have all of your other settings. Just make sure that all of these are set exactly the way that I told you to. This hover note you're going to type in, and then that's just going to give you a nice little hover note just to pop up and keep everything organized like I've done here. Make sure that you are subscribed, because whenever I go over this video down here, you don't want to miss it. This video is going to be pretty simple and straightforward and easy to do, and this is so much better than having the weather cycle turned on inside of your world. This basically allows you to fully control it and adjust it, and basically let you decide how much you want it to thunderstorm, how much you want it to rain, and how much you want it to be clear, which is pretty awesome if you ask me. With that being said, that's going to wrap up the short Minecraft Bedrock tips and tricks video. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. Make sure that you subscribe on your way out and hit that bell notification. That way you do not miss any of these videos that I'm going to be releasing, or any of the other content that I drop. I'm always dropping redstone tutorials, farms, tips and tricks, all kinds of stuff, and of course the Project Bedrock Let's Play, so you definitely don't want to miss that. If you feel like this video deserved a rating, please drop a like on your way out, as it really does help out the channel. Thanks, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.